What's up, y'all? Azot Sports back here again today, bringing y'all another top 10 NBA video. And today, we're going to be doing the top 10 power forwards in the NBA right now. And if you missed the previous videos on the top 10 point guards, shooting guards, small forwards, please make sure you'll check that out if you're interested. If not, it's cool. But I appreciate if you watch this one, and you can go ahead and give it the like, subscribe button too if you want to too. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get into the honorable mentions here. So my first one is Blake Griffin. You know, when he was a couple years ago, when he was healthy, he was proven that he was still one of the best power forwards in the league, and he used to be one of the best players in the league. But over the years, injuries have drug him down, and one of the most important factors in basketball of how good you are is your reliability, your health, and he's just never healthy. Can't put him on my top 10, sorry. Another guy I wish I could put in my top 10, but he doesn't quite make it, Marcus Aldridge. He's a very solid player for San Antonio. Shoots pretty good from the field, averages like 19.6 rebounds. And I wouldn't call him a star anymore, but he's still a really good basketball player. But besides scoring, he doesn't really do too much for you anymore, I don't think. So, can't put him in my top 10. But with that said, let's go ahead and start my top 10 right now. And at number 10, I have Jaren Jackson Jr. And I've liked him out the gate since he came out. And this year he averaged 17 points per game, pretty damn good. Now I'm kind of disappointed in how bad his rebounding was. He only averaged 5 rebounds per game, but he's it's like almost 7 foot tall. Don't really understand that, but he is a really good defender, and obviously he can score the basketball. And him and Ja just really fit very good together, and I'm excited for the future of the Grizzlies at between those two. But at number 9, I have the most hyped up man in basketball, Zion Williamson, and he's hyped up for a damn reason, y'all. He's fucking amazing. Already in my top 10, hasn't even played 30 games. Um, let's see, he's what, 6'6", but he is fast as hell, bulky as hell, and he's strong as a 7 footer. I would never play him at center really, but I say he can guard anyone 6'11" and under pretty much. Great defender, great athlete, can really dunk on anybody in the NBA. He really added a little bit of a 3-point shot since he came in the league, and if you're in the paint, you're not gonna be trying to stop Zion Williamson. He can go through anybody, and he's just getting started, man. Some people try to hate on him, but I think he will be a top 10 player eventually, no doubt in my mind. But at number 8, I have Kevin Love, and you forget about Kevin Love sometimes. He's a great catch and shoot 3-point shooter, a really great rebounder. Really he can just shoot from anywhere on the court. He is really good in the post. He doesn't go to that anymore, but that used to be what he specialized in, was scoring in the post. But yeah, still a great post scorer, still a great 3-point shooter, great rebounder, horrible defender. If he was a even decent defender, people would like Kevin Love a lot more than they do. But the defense is what sets him back a lot. But people has overlooked this guy now, man. After LeBron left, they just kind of forget about him. But I want to see him get traded to the Portland Trailblazers. I said that for so many years, but really any team that's good, I want to see him on a good team again, because to me he's a fun player to watch. And not on the Cavaliers where there's no one to watch on there, but it'd be fun to watch on a good team. But anyways, let's go to number 7, and a lot of y'all will not agree with this shit at all. But we got Draymond Green. Now, why Draymond? Well, he might not put up the flashy stats. He had like 8 points, and 6 and 6 last year, and on really bad efficiency too. You're like, oh wow, yeah, that's a really good player. And by himself individually, he's not really that great. He's pretty trash, honestly. But the way he fits with the Warriors and the way he fit for their system, don't forget he's a former defensive player of the year. At one point, he was shooting like 38% from deep, and averaging like 7 rebounds, 7 assists per game, and he averaged like 13 points at his peak, and really just being amazing at everything and just good enough at scoring the basketball, and that's all he needed to do, and he was just the best glue guy you could have. Do y'all not remember in 2015, 2016, there was real arguments that most people had Draymond better than Klay Thompson back then. It was Steph's team, but people were like, I think Draymond's second best player and Klay's kind of like third. But over time, those talks fizzled down. People act like it never happened. But I think with KD gone and they're gonna all be healthy again, Draymond's gonna show his true colors again. He's gonna be that big glue piece again. But we're gonna go ahead and get to number 6. Enough about Draymond. And this guy plays for the Atlanta Hawks, John Collins, and he is a pretty fun player to watch. Trae Young just makes a Hawks fun to watch to start with, but then you bring in athletic power forward who's about 6'10", can run the floor, do a pick and roll, and just catch lobs, dunk. He can go out to the 3-point line. He's a really good rebounder, already averaging double-digit rebounds. And the Hawks are just a lot better team when he's on there. Just kind of like a dynamic duo, kind of like the a better version of the Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. combo. They're pretty similar, honestly. Both have a really young guard, a really young power forward, and both of them have similar skill sets. But obviously, I like the Hawks version of them better. But I think John Collins has a lot of improvement to do. Um, but I can see him becoming a top, you know, 5 power forward in the future. But right now he sits right outside the top 5. And at the number 5 spot, I have this is really the top 5 right here for what I consider the stars of the power forwards. So like not superstars, but just stars. All right, and I have Pascal Siakam, and he really surprised me last year when they won the championship. I didn't know he would be that good once DeMar DeRozan left and he had to take on a bigger role alongside Kawhi. I had no idea he would be that good. And now this year he averaged 23 points, 7 rebounds, and 3.5 assists. And he's an amazing defender, perimeter and interior. He can get blocks, steals, and he's just an overall really great basketball player, but he's not a number 1 option. He is one of the best number 2s you can get, and he can do about everything, but he's not the best at creating his own shot. Now, if he has someone like Kawhi Leonard, a superstar on his team, he can create a shot enough to get by. But looking at this season where he had to be the number 1 option in the playoffs, he's not good enough to do that. He's just not that guy that hounded him and made him feel uncomfortable, and he was just missing a lot of shots. Not a good situation. But I do love Siakam's game, and I love where he's going. He's already an NBA champion, and he still has a lot of time to get better. And sky's the limit for this guy, man. Sky's the limit. All right, number 4. We have one of my favorite players in the NBA, honestly, Kristaps Porzingis. He's just such a fun player to watch, man. Like he has such a smooth release, like for a 7'3" player, just to see him just yank that bitch from like 33, 34 feet out. It's a wonderful sight to see. I hate he's gonna get injured. It just sucks. I hope his career isn't riddled with injuries. 'Cause I like watching him. Um, Now let's be honest. He averaged like 20 points and 9 rebounds, but he shot terrible this year. And most of the year he was terrible, but the last month or so before the virus hit, he was playing fucking amazing, honestly. And I was noticing it too. I was like, damn, man, you're really starting to get into your groove now. You've been playing bad all season. Now you're getting it done. And once the bubble came around, he didn't slow down. He was really good in there too. And the few playoff games that he did play before he got injured, he was amazing in those. And if he didn't get injured, Clippers are out in the first round. I mean, he was playing out of his mind, especially in that last game he played. I think it was like game 3 or 4. He was playing out of his mind. And if he can stay healthy, I mean, he's still extremely young. Oh, he could be one of the best power forwards of all time. I mean, we're talking. I feel like he could be better than Dirk. It's really possible he could be better than Dirk. Like if you think about it, just the way his body's built and how good he is, how young he is already. Got another young player here at number 3, and it's a guy who went from really good player to a star this year, and that is Jason Tatum. He stepped up his scoring to 23 points per game. He also averaged 7 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal on the block. And what can I say? He is the definition of a 3 and D star. He reminds me of the likes of Jimmy Butler slightly, but really Paul George. Like he's exactly like Paul George, except hopefully his career he won't end up being a playoff choker like Paul George. Uh, but in terms of their skill set, very very similar, and I really like Jason Tatum's game honestly, because like I say, he tries hard in defense and he makes sure he locks up his guy. But he can take over games, man. I mean, you want just he if he's just gonna catch the ball and shoot it. He can hit catch and shoot threes. He can shoot them off the dribble. He can shoot in the defender's face. He can shoot them fading away. He can dunk. He can lay up, post fade away. I mean, what isn't in this guy's arsenal? He's over the years. By over the years, he played 3 years, but over his time in the NBA, I saw him go from he can make these crazy off the dribble, fade away, post fade shots, and he does them from time to time. But he's starting to, realize that 3-point shots are the way it is in the NBA, and the analytics just proved that it's better off shooting more of them. So he's been shooting more and more threes as time's going on. He's been getting better and better at them, and he's just a really hard worker, man, and he gets better. Not even just every year, just like every month seems like he gets better and better, and I have to commend him for it. And hope he keeps on working hard. He's definitely the best player on that Celtics roster. Number 2, we have our first superstar on this list, and is Anthony Davis. This guy is a fucking beast. He's unstoppable. They talk about LeBron James being a freak of nature, but Anthony Davis, he is a freak of nature. This guy's like 6'11". He's buff as shit. And it's not fat neither, but it's just all muscle. And he's not only is he that big, he's mobile as shit, hella athletic, can jump high, can run fast, and he can score the ball in any way he fucking wants to. Even against good defenders, I mean, they barely slow him down at all. It doesn't really matter who's defending him. He's gonna get his, man. And this year he averaged 26 points, 9 rebounds, like a steal and a half a game, and 2.5 blocks. And he's definitely a top 5 defender in the league. Um, Really, it's just tough to score on him, man. And for a big man, he gets a lot of steals because y'all know he used to be a point guard back in high school, right? He was a lot shorter. He just had a really big growth spurt, so he has point guard skills. As in, he's not a bad playmaker. He can handle the ball a little bit, get steals. So he still has some of those skills right there. Um, but he just showed how dominant he is. He's never had a real playoff run. The only thing he's ever did was when they beat the Portland Trailblazers in the first round. Besides that, hasn't did too much. But this year, man, he had that one game winner kind of fading away. He has a lot of clutch moments, and he just showed that he really is as dominant as advertised. Back when he was in his 3rd and 4th year, people were looking at him and saying, he has potential to be best power forward all time, but he's gotta, start making the playoffs, start doing some stuff. When I started doing some stuff, he won an NBA championship. He started doing some stuff, and he's still in the great team. He's gonna be contending, and who knows? Maybe he get number 2. Maybe he get number 3. We don't know. He still really could have won that Defense Player of the Year, but he didn't. It's cool though. He'll get one of those eventually. I think he'll get MVP eventually, and if he doesn't, I'd be very, very surprised because players of his caliber don't come around too often. He's definitely a top 5 or 6 player. I haven't really decided, but when I put out my top 30 list, y'all definitely find out. Anyways, y'all already know what it is. You know who number 1 is. Back-to-back MVP. Defensive Player of the Year, Giannis Antetokounmpo. He might have lost in the second round, but let's just be honest. He's the best power forward in the league easily. I mean, this man averaged 29 points, and then he got 13 rebounds, 6 assists, still on the block. And the only thing he can't do is shoot the three ball. Think about it. Best defender in the league this year. He was Defensive Player of the Year. And he averaged like the fourth most points per game. He even without a three ball, he can just get to the basket at ease. He can score however he wants, and if he can add the 3-point shot, I'm telling you, man, this guy will literally be unstoppable. With a 3-point shot, he will be unstoppable. People say that about Ben Simmons. If Giannis gets it, if Giannis can like shoot 38% from deep, that's a lot to ask. It's above average. But if he can do that, he will end up being like a top 5 player of all time. I'm not kidding. It's that scary, and he needs to get that 3-point shot, man. I want to see it. Either way, I know he will bounce back from the performance he had this year in the playoffs. And I see them making the finals sometime in the next 5 years. I don't see him leaving the Bucks. Tell me what y'all think. Do you think he's gonna leave the Milwaukee Bucks? I really don't. Anyways, that's all I have time for today, y'all. If you like the video, hit that like button and also hit the subscribe button. I know I already said that, but shit, just help a man out, all right? Anyways, I'm out till next time. Catch you back for the top 10 centers in the league. Anyways, peace out. See ya.